Hello. So I've fallen out of the habit of doing live videos on this page, which is really rather bad of me. I want to get back into the habit of doing them. So I'm going to start from now and see how we go. But this page is called Qigong and Mindfulness. And I do an awful lot about Qigong and very little about mindfulness. So I think I need to correct that. So let's start from the very basics. What is mindfulness? Well, the majority of people, when they hear the word mindfulness, will follow it by that other M word, meditation. And it's very true. Mindfulness and meditation do go together, but they are not exclusive. Mindfulness is a Buddhist concept, and the attitudes of mindfulness that you can Google if you find online, which I will go over obviously, are attitudes that the Buddha taught to his disciples as being the attitudes that would help them live better, happier lives. So why is mindfulness so often associated with meditation? Well, obviously meditation is also something that the Buddha recommended. And there are lots of benefits to meditation. Simply meditating has been shown to lower blood pressure, generally help you feel better in yourself, and calm you down. That's the physiological and psychological effects of meditation. And there probably is a strong placebo response to simply saying, right, I'm going to meditate, and listening to somebody with a nice soothing voice, or listening to some nice soothing music, and just breathing, or having guided meditation. There is an awful lot of placebo effect simply in doing that. Excuse me. I've just been vacuuming, not the best preparation for a video. My apologies. No, let's put it there. I can see it, you can't. So, mindfulness meditation is basically a technique to help you practice the attributes of mindfulness. Because what mindful meditation generally encourages you to do, and there are different sorts of mindfulness meditations, what mindfulness meditation generally encourages you to do is to be in this moment. Not worrying about the past, not thinking about the future, just being in this moment, right here, right now. And the attributes of mindfulness can help you manage your reactions to what is going on in this moment, right here, right now. Now, mindfulness as we now practice it in the West grew out of the Buddhist movement. It was taken onto a scientific level by a wonderful gentleman called a doctor called John Kabat-Zinn, who did the first ever mindfulness-based stress reduction course, which was aimed at helping people with chronic conditions, introducing them to mindfulness to help them to manage their conditions. Now, one of the conditions that mindfulness has been shown to help with is pain. Now, how on earth can being in the moment help you when you've got pain? Because when you've got pain, you want to kind of block it out. You don't want the pain. Well, one of the first attributes of mindfulness is acceptance. Acceptance of what is, on a much wider area. The Buddha would say, you just have to accept that life is full of good things and bad things, and that nothing is permanent. So the good things are great, but they won't last. And the bad things aren't so great, but you know what? They won't last either. So being in the moment means you've only got to cope with what's going on right here, right now. And acceptance of what is going on in this moment actually saves you an awful lot of hassle. Because if you accept, okay, I've got this chronic pain, and don't try to fight against it, you actually conserve your energy for changing things that you can change. Because if you've got a source of chronic pain, there's probably not a lot you can do about it. Some of you will know I've got arthritis in my hip. It's happened. Not a lot I can do about it. And occasionally, there's nothing happening on camera, but occasionally you will see me, my husband will see me move the wrong way and I hit the ceiling. But you have to just accept. That doesn't mean be resigned to the fact, oh, life is chronic. It means, okay, this isn't so good, but I can't do anything to change it. So no point in fighting it. Just go with the flow, accept it, and just do what I can to make the bits around it better. And so the way that mindfulness encourages you to focus on living in this moment and accepting what is in this moment means that life does become a little easier. I mean, I've often used this example of the pandemic. It's not good. I mean, I could use other stronger words to describe it. Not good. We'll stick with that. But there is nothing any of us can do to wave a magic wand and make the pandemic go away. All any of us can do is kind of say, okay, it is what it is, which is a phrase I often use. How can I work around it so that, I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting others, and I can get on with my life in the best possible way. Because stressing about the pandemic isn't going to make it go away, as we have all found out over this past 15 months. And it's been a long 15 months. I fully acknowledge that. And it's taken a toll on everybody's mental well-being, which is one reason why I'm talking about mindfulness now, because mindfulness is a wonderful, wonderful stress management tool. Because it gives you, if you practice mindfulness, it gives you a couple of things. It gives you the practice in focusing on what's in front of you now, because that's all you can cope with. If you've got what seems like an absolutely unmanageable huge problem, it breaks it down into right. This is the bit of the problem that's here now. What do I do? But also, if you practice mindfulness regularly and practice the different attributes of mindfulness, acceptance, patience, generosity, gratitude, non-striving, childlike mind, open, curious mind, and all those things, or compassion, it means that you will manage each moment better. And that's what mindfulness practice is aimed at doing. It's not aimed, and it's not a magic wand that says, oh, if you practice mindfulness, you are never going to get stressed again. If only. If only. I practice mindfulness regularly, and I've been stressed by all the events of these past 15 months. We're now going into a time of change, and change is always stressful. Don't care whether you want the change or don't want the change. Change is always stressful. So mindfulness is not a magic wand that can help you take away all your stress. It's a tool that can help you manage life better, so you don't get as stressed by things. Because stress isn't caused by what's going on, it's caused by what you're thinking about what's going on. And you can change your thoughts. And that's a lot of what mindfulness meditation is about. It's helping you realise that actually you can change your thoughts. Just because you've always had a certain reaction to a particular thing doesn't mean that you always have to have that reaction. This does not mean that I'm saying all stress is imaginary. It's not. Stress is very real. But a lot does depend on your approach to the situation. This is an example I've used before, and it's an example I'll use again. Two secretaries, identical in piles of work. One secretary looks at it and goes, oh, that's a lot of work. Okay, we'll just do it one bit at a time and I'll get through it. The other secretary looks at the same pile of work and goes, oh, too much work, I can't do it. Same situation, different way of thinking about it, very different levels of stress. Very different levels of stress. So, mindfulness is an attitude of mind. It's an attitude that if you can bring it to every moment, means that you will enjoy, really enjoy and appreciate when things are really good. And it means that if you bring it to the times when things are bad, you have the attitude to not reduce all the stress, but to manage it, because you will recognise that, okay, this is not good. It's not going to always stay this way, because life always changes. And I'll just deal with it moment by moment. Now, the reason meditation so often follows the word mindfulness is because in meditation you can actually practice being in the moment, because the typical Buddhist, typical mindfulness meditation gets you to focus on your breath. Focus on what's going on in your breath and your body right here, right now, using your awareness of your breath and your body to hold you in this moment. And you can also use wording that teaches you, acceptance of whatever you find and not striving to change things and all things like that. But meditation isn't the only way to do that. At its core, mindfulness is focusing your awareness is in a very special way. It's about focusing where your attention goes in a special way, so that you're aware of what's going on in this moment. One of my favourite mindfulness techniques, mindful washing. You may laugh, but it's really good. And there's another technique. This is something that's going to be with us for many, many, many months to come, I suspect. How often are you washing your hands every day? 20 seconds. And how often are you using hand sanitizer when you can't get to soap and water? I hope the answer is very often. Why not make a virtue out of a necessity? Every time you use hand sanitizer or wash your hands, turn that into a mindful moment. And you're really focusing on what you're doing. You're really focusing on what you're aware of, the touch of the water on your hands, the smell of the soap, the touch of the hand sanitizer, how your hands feel as you rub them up against each other, feeling in different parts of your hands, being aware and making sure that you've gone through all your hands, the whole of your hands. We all know that technique well by now, I hope. But every time you wash your hands, you can practice focusing in this moment. And that is the first and most important thing that mindfulness can teach us, is to focus in this moment. It doesn't have to be long and complicated. Yeah, sitting and meditating for 20 or even 40 minutes a day is wonderful. But life doesn't always allow that to happen. So I'm not going to suggest to anybody that you make a commitment that you're going to find 20 minutes a day to meditate. I think there's huge benefits to finding 20 minutes a day to meditate, but I'm not asking you to make that commitment. I'm asking you to make a commitment to yourself that you are going to find at least 1 minute or one time each day when you practice being mindful, whether it's when you wash your hands, whether it's when you're cooking, which is another good mindful practice, when you're eating. Each time you're eating, you really try appreciating every single mouthful of food. And that's a bit difficult to do in company if you're the only one that's doing it and everyone else is eating at their normal pace. So that's probably something to do when you're on your own at the moment. But there's so many things that you do during the day where you can practice being really mindful of what's going on in this particular moment. I'm not quite certain what I'm going to be doing in future videos, but my feeling is that I'll probably look at each of the attitudes of mindfulness in turn, and there'll be a brief discussion and probably followed by a meditation that helps you focus your mind on that particular attribute. So I'm not going to make a commitment to how often I'm going to do these videos, because I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to do one every week, and then it doesn't happen. But I am going to make a commitment to say I will be doing videos on this page specifically, rather than the ones that I post on the page from my Twitch channel. I will be doing videos that I post first to this page that will be different to my Twitch streams, and these videos will then go on my much neglected YouTube channel. So hello YouTubers, I haven't forgotten you. I'm going to be putting content out there for you. So thank you for being with me today. If you've got any comments or questions, comment under this video on the page, and wherever you are, namaste.